My name is Leanne and I'm teaching the Kronau Museum's virtual craft classes. I look forward to discovering all that nature in spring has to offer with you. See you soon!
So this week we have two activities. We have the bird nest and the birdhouse. So today we are going to get started with the bird nest. Here's the material you'll need for this activity. You'll need a bowl, a pair of scissors, some yarn, glue, spaghetti in a baggie, and some waxed paper. So the first step is to take the spaghetti in the baggie and you're going to crush it up into small little pieces. Now this is quite a bit of spaghetti, so I might not use the whole thing, but we'll see. So we want this to look like little branches. And then I'm going to take the yarn and we're going to cut this into small little pieces. So see if you can line up your yarn. So about an inch, 1 or 2 inches, or somewhere in between. So this is just to add a little bit of texture and color to the nest. Okay, so then we're going to take the wax paper and put it at the bottom of the bowl. And the reason we use this wax paper is so that it's easier to pull out and it doesn't stick. You're going to push that at the bottom and then just fold the sides over. And you take some of the pasta and put it in the bowl. Break it. If some of the pieces are too long, I might just break them a little bit again. So I think that'll be enough. And then I'm going to add the yarn. And then I want to mix that all together. So see if you can separate the pieces of yarn because we sort of want them spread out. Okay, so then we add the glue. So I'm going to pour the glue. Now you need a lot of glue for this part. And here's where you get your hands a little dirty. You can always wear gloves if you don't want to get glue on your hands. In fact, I think I'm going to grab a pair of gloves for myself. So I've grabbed a glove and mix that together. Now I will need a lot of glue for this, but I'm just going to start with this. And then we'll take it from there and see how much more we need. So mix it all together. And I'm gonna get the dry ones from the bottom, because I want those ones to have glue on them as well. Now remember, you can always add more yarn in a bunch of different colors if you want to add more color. That's up to you. We're gonna mix that all up flipping it over, and whenever you find dry pasta, see if you can get some glue on there. And then if you need to add more glue, just pour, be very generous with your glue. So as I said, it's easier if you remove the cap. So once you finish putting all the glue, you just want to mold, and again, you can use gloves for this, mold it down and out, so sort of to take the shape of the bowl, and that'll break up the spaghetti a little bit more as well. Now we're going to let that dry, and it might take a day or two depending on how much glue you put on, but while that dries, we're going to get started with our next activity, which is the birdhouse. So while our bird nest is drying, we're going to go ahead and start with the birdhouse. So you have your carton of milk, which we've already put the masking tape on, and that just, because it's too slippery, by adding the masking tape, the glue, or the paint will stay better. So we have that. We have our brown paint, a container and a paintbrush, the different types of moss, and we have some sharp instruments, so you'll want your parents to help you with those. So let's get started. I also, earlier I forgot to mention the glue that you'll need to stick the moss, so we just added that. So let's add some brown paint. Now, I'll mention, if ever you run out of brown paint or you don't have any, you can use 3 colors to mix together to make the brown, and those are the 3 primary colors. So your 3 primary colors are red, yellow, and blue, and you can mix those in equal parts, and that will make your brown color. So we'll go ahead and pour some brown. So we're going to apply the brown paint to the entire surface. Now that the paint has dried, we're going to, so you'll get a parent to help you with this part. And just finding a sharp instrument, we're going to cut a hole in the middle. So we want a round hole big enough so that the bird can go in and make a nest. Now that I've finished cutting the hole, I'm just going to add paint because we want to make those edges nice and clean. So just a little bit of paint. Okay. Now while this paint dries, we're going to add a hole because we'll need to hang this up. And again, you want to ask help from mom and dad or an older sibling because we're using a sharp instrument. So you're just going to go about halfway and puncture a little hole through which we can put a string. You can use any kind of string, you can use a ribbon, yarn, whatever you like. So you want to puncture on both sides. And again, remember to ask help for that part. And then we'll just add some paint, just a little bit, not too much, around to hide the white. And then we'll let that dry. Okay, while that's drying, we can add the moss. So we have 3 different types of moss. We have the green and then these other ones. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'll actually put the glue on first. And this is where you can be creative. You can put it anywhere you wish. just dab, whoops, this is messy. Dab some on. And that way it's sort of camouflaging a little bit the fact that it's a milk carton. Looks a little bit more natural in nature. So just spreading the glue. Different colors on there. Now the last step, while the moss is drying, we're just going to cut some string so that we can hang it from a tree. And we're going to pass it through the hole. So remember, you can use any kind of string. You can use a ribbon. Oh, my moss is falling. And then just tie a knot at the top. Oops. And there you go. Now the birds have a safe place to make a home. Hi everyone, so it's the next day. And so I was able to remove my bird nest. And what I did is I just gently removed the wax paper from the bowl, and then it comes out very, very easily. Now it depends, if you've put more glue, you might need to wait a little bit longer, but usually it takes about a day. And I went and got a little bird at the dollar store so I could add that, or you could make your own. But there is your bird nest. I hope you enjoyed making the activity.